Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Blessing. So for those who don't know, I'm a master's student in Moscow. Today I'm going to be talking about the advantages of being a student in Moscow, right? Now, I never knew of these advantages until I came to Moscow because I did my bachelor's degree in Kazan. Kazan is like another city, yeah, in Russia, and it's a very beautiful city. And yeah, my time there, I did enjoy it. Um, and yeah, but then if you would ask me to advise students on where to study, which city to study, right? I would say come to Moscow if you can, right? Why do I say so? Let's start first. Now, although I studied in Kazan and I'm grateful for all the opportunities I got there, and I feel like it helped shape my life, I can't help but say that if I was in Moscow, like all those years I spent in Kazan and the experiences I would get in Moscow at this point, like I think I know where I would have been at this point. What do I mean by that is because, first of all, Moscow is a capital city, and just like every capital city, it has more opportunities. Of course, it's more crowded, more stress somehow. You feel like you need to play a game of catch up. But that's what brings its advantages too, because there is like more um job opportunities, in my opinion. Of course, when you start, you might start small, just like every other person. You might do like menial jobs or minor jobs or jobs that don't pay enough, but it's okay because it's experience. And if I got all those experiences I got in Kazan, in Moscow as well, it would have been really nice. And another thing is that Moscow, Moscow, will I say vibe is different. The attitude of the people are different, right? Um, and in the universities too, their attitude are different. Now, I might be a bit biased in this, in a sense that my university right now, Higher School of Economics, is actually not your typical Russian is not your typical Russian university, right? Imagine one of the criteria for everyone, both foreigners and Russians alike, is that you know have a certain level of English. They require some English certification for you to be admitted, right? Unlike my former university in Kazan, it wasn't so. So maybe it's just my university or not, but the experience I've had so far, and before my university, I also did some minor courses in other university in Moscow, and also their attitude is quite different from in Kazan. Like you rarely seen people workers or teachers yelling or making you feel less of yourself. They're a little bit more patient. And also in Moscow, you find people that are more willing to speak English with you in case you're a newcomer in Russia and you don't speak Russian yet. Moscow would be the best place to start because they have more people willing to switch to English if they see you can't understand Russian, especially if they speak the language. And even when they're not so good at the language, they try their best, unlike smaller cities. Now, coming down to it as well, the benefit of being a student here is that you have a transport card. Let me see if I can find mine. Yes, so you have a transport card, and this transport card as a student, as a student, especially if it's the first time here, you were probably coming broke or not with so much money, right? So there's this transport card that is called Karta Maskavich or Socialny Karta, so social card, right? So it reduces your amount. Let me show you. This is mine, right? I hid my number. My name is there and my picture. So this card reduces the amount you pay in transport in Moscow by, I don't even know how many percent, more than 70%, I could say. Let's say, for example, when I came to Moscow, newly, and I haven't started studying yet, so I didn't have my card yet. I was spending, let's say, 3,000, I think, minimum per month in transportation, and I was going to work as well, so I had a lot of transportation to and fro. But then I'm not the type that to savatsa, like always walking around aimlessly, right? I don't do that. So that means that most of my transportation is limited to work back then and back, work, or maybe if I have an interview for another job, but it still was minimum 3,000 rubles, I think. Yeah, because then you pay for metro with your stuff. I didn't subscribe then, I don't know why I didn't subscribe, because you could subscribe for like 2,000 something back then, I think, or something, 3,000 something for a month, but I don't remember the reason why I did not subscribe, right? Anyways, so but with this card, you pay maximum of 700, I think 700 and something rubles for both train, bus, metro, bus, tramway, the tram, trolleybus, like all the underground and overground transportation. You pay with this card for just 700 and something rubles. Then if you're just interested in metro only, you pay 500 plus rubles. So that's a spec for being a student in Moscow. I don't know any other city where they do this. Definitely not in Kazan, the city where I studied. So that's another advantage. Another advantage to that is, but this disadvantage, I think it depends on the university, I think. But most universities in Moscow, I've asked friends, acquaintances as well about it, they seem to be much more cleaner, like the hostels, much more cleaner than your average Russian universities outside Moscow. Like when I studied in my university in Kazan, you could find like cockroaches or bed bugs. Those are the worst there and stuff, and it's just so disorganized. But in my hostel is nice and clean, and it gives you. You might think it's a minor thing until you come and you realize that you couldn't sleep because of those bed bugs, and it affects your psychology and your study time, and the whole thing becomes irritating and stuff like that. Now, another thing is that in hostels here, I noticed that, you know, there are less students in the dormitories as well, like in a room. And it's only in Moscow that I came and I found out that there are actually some dormitories that have room for one person. For example, in my room, I live alone. You get? Um, but most, yeah, in other cities, I don't think is that an option. That's not to say that in Moscow there is no dormitories you can live like 4 people, 3 people. In my hostels, I think there are rooms that are 3 people and two, but it's mostly like 2 people room, and then one person room is also like few of them. I'm just among the lucky ones that got it, thank God. Yes, that's another advantage, right? And another advantage in if you a student in Moscow is that you get much more exposed, because Moscow is a metropolitan city and the metro is very complex. I feel like if you can navigate Moscow metro, you can navigate any metro in the world. Maybe I'm exaggerating because I've never been to much countries, but yeah, according to what I've read so far on the internet, I think Moscow metro is I was a little bit intimidated by it the first time I came, but now I am a pro in it. Sometimes I don't even use my map. I just look at the metro and I'm able to read the maps of the metro, right? In another video, I'm going to talk to you about the apps you need to survive as a student in Moscow, Russia. Like without these apps, at least the first few months before you start getting around, it might be hard. Yeah. So that's it. Let me know in the comment section below what was the most challenging moment when you came to Moscow, either as a student or a working person. And also in your city, what are the differences you noticed from what I just said so far, or what are the similarities? Write in the comment section. Let me know. Don't forget to like this video if it was really helpful to you, and share, of course, to your friends. Till next time, see you. Bye.